Today, we're going to talk about the public health model of free speech. There's a paradox many people who watch or listen to shows like this face when it comes to crime and punishment. Prevention is better than punishment. But what lengths should we go to in order to prevent a violent act before it happens? The parents of school shooters are now being held legally responsible for the crimes of their children. As a society, we've decided it's a parent's duty to recognize the warning signs and protect other children from becoming victims of their child's bloodlust. As a parent myself, I find it absurd to look at my child and see a callous murderer. So, what exactly is a parent supposed to do? Jennifer and James Crumbly are now serving 10-year prison sentences for their son's murderous rampage, charged with not seeing the signs. The family, poor and unable to afford the proper mental health care their son asked for, did everything they could to pull him out of what they believed was severe adolescent depression. Are all parents now expected to see moody teenagers as potential mass shooters? In the movie Minority Report, precogs have the ability to foresee a murder before it happens and stop it in advance. But are they seeing a potential act of imagination or the true intent behind a future crime? This tension between free will and determinism still defines our society today. Recently, the murder of right wing pundit and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk by a lone gunman sparked a massive crackdown on speech. President Donald Trump and his cabinet are using Kirk's slaying as a pretext to suppress any speech deemed negative towards his presidency, Kirk's legacy, or the administration itself. They've gone so far as to propose prosecuting anyone who speaks ill of capitalism. Should we really be surprised? During the rise of what the right diversively calls wokeness or political correctness, before that we were told that words equaled violence. Context was dismissed, and verbal bullies became the new oppressors, deserving of public punishment. Canceling people became a form of digital shunning, doxing, ratioing, and harassing targets into submission. But while those cancel wars mostly lived in online spaces and academia during Trump's first term, the right has now taken the same logic to its extreme, firing and threatening prosecution of protesters, lawyers, and even the media. No online mob required. Recently in the UK, comedian and writer Graham Linehan was arrested over a series of social media posts. What did he actually say? The first post on X read, "If a trans identified male is in a female only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops. If all else fails, punch him in the balls," unquote. He later wrote on Substack that during his police interview, he explained the punchline was a serious point made with a joke about height differences between men and women, not a call to violence. His second post was an aerial shot of protesters with the caption, "A photo you can smell." His third post, quote, "I hate them," referring to misogynists and homophobes, adding an expletive. Many dismiss these as words of an unwell man, arguing he needed treatment before he could harm anyone. But this reaction itself reveals something deeper. From our guest article in Compact Magazine, quote, the article titled "The Public Health Model of Speech Suppression," quote, "For decades now, the governing mantra has been borrowed not from liberal governance, but from public health. Prevention is better than cure. Theft and actual violence are not where institutions step in, but are instead signs that they have already failed. By the time someone commits a crime, it is too late." From this perspective, Linehan committed the perfect crime, not because it was undetectable, but because it allowed police to exercise their powers of prevention. Modern health regimes have long embodied this logic. Curative medicine is increasingly seen as as a costly lost cause. Instead, nearly every aspect of life has been recast as just so many risk factors to be monitored and adjusted, transforming citizens into permanent patients. So, too, for policing, where every thought, feeling, and experience becomes a risk factor for criminality. In fact, healthcare and policing often directly overlap. Unquote. Is thought crime truly on the horizon? Is speech truly free? To discuss